Hello friends, welcome, new subscribers. My name's Brian from Apex Detail. Today we're going to take a look at the MaxShine Master 15mm long throw orbital. We're going to jump right into it here. This is the bag that it comes in, and it has 8 pockets, 3 on both sides, 2 large ones on the end, and plenty of room inside the bag for actually quite a few polishers to take with, and it has a nice shoulder strap. Besides the polisher and the backing plate in the bag, there is a packet that includes the instruction manual, the warranty, a handle, 2 screws to attach the handle, an Allen key for the backing plate, a set of brushes, silicone grease for the gears, and also a washer mod to push the backing plate away from the shroud. The lifetime warranty covers any faulty material on or inside the polisher. There's also a 1-year comprehensive that replaces worn parts as long as the polisher has been taken care of correctly. Once again, this is the 15mm, 900 watt motor, 240 volts, 50 hertz, 1800 to 4800 OPM or orbits per minute, 4-meter cord length. Weighs a little under 5.5 pounds, has an electronic speed control, variable speed trigger, and 5-inch factory installed backing plate. This polisher is built like a tank. It has a little bit of weight to it. It's smooth, it is balanced, it's not very loud, and it has a great ride across the panel. The whole package, $168, not a bad polisher to start out with. Alright, so you've seen me do some work with it out in the shop. Let's break this thing down a bit. First we'll start with the backing plate. We're going to crack this puppy open, see what makes it tick. It's something I do. I like to replace the factory cheap grease with a grease of my own for the gears. And I also like to make sure everything is exactly how I want it inside the machine. Each company that provides a polisher seems to have their own design when it comes to keeping backing plates and pads cool. This one has 8 holes. The air comes straight up into the backing plate and straight out the side of the unit. Okay, as we look at the counterweight, it has 3 screws that are flush, bevel-headed screws, about 10 mils long. We have to remove that to get the shroud off. That also has 4 screws as well. So the video could keep a nice even flow. I'm going to speed things up here and there as we break this thing down. We're going to remove the 3 screws. We're going to set them in a magnet tray. We don't want them getting away from us. And off comes the balance weight. With the 3 8.5 mil screws and the counterweight out of the way, we can work on the shroud. 4 screws are tucked away inside. These are 4 panhead 21 mil screws with aggressive thread. With the constant vibration, no matter how little it is, and the fluctuation of heat going up and down when the polisher is in use, quality fasteners are a must to hold these things together. The plastic shroud easily slides off, and that reveals about 3/4 of an inch of a rubber lip. That is nice and cozy up close to the backing plate until you add the washer mod. And that leads way to the platypus plastic and rubber grip at the end of the polisher. That just snaps on. All you have to do is disconnect at either end and it comes right off. And then we have 4 more panhead screws remaining, about 21 mils, before we can get to the main drive gear. Okay, with those removed, just give it a little twist and then slowly lift it up as you remove the housing from the main drive gear. And this here is where I like to clean out the crappy factory gear lube and then insert and pack tight with looper plate gear shield. Pack it tight, just leave a little bit of room so you can close things back up again. And here's your 10.5mm main drive gear. Okay, to get to the electronics, the trigger, the dial, the wiring, the electric motor, you have to take out these 4 screws here. And once again, I'll speed things up where I can, keep the length of the video reasonable. Okay, with those removed, slowly separate the casing. You never know if they have a wire attached to the side of the casing, either by some sort of a clamp or maybe some type of adhesive. This exposes the positive and negative wires going to the trigger, which in turn goes to the motor and then is connected to the speed dial. This here is another reason I like to break these down and take a look at the insides. I'm going to be taking care of this exposed wire. This is from factory, probably the speed throwing these things together, trying to keep the cost down. And we're going to take a look at the speed dial while we are here. Here's the spring and ball bearing that locks the dial in between the speed settings. Not much else to see. The 900-watt motor is tucked in between a casing of its own. So we're going to quickly throw this thing back together. We're going to get it running. We're going to take it back out into the shop. At this point, might as well insert the washer mod, get that over with. Okay, that's going to do it. We're going to fire this up. I haven't noticed a ton of heat while using this for corrections, major corrections, especially when the shop is warmed up again. We're in the summertime, beginning of summer, it gets hot, hazy, humid, and the machine pretty much stays cool. I'm going to fire this up, go through the speeds quick, and you get an idea of the noise level. We're going to let this run full speed. We're going to check it every few minutes and give you a temperature reading on the housing. Even when it's under load, there isn't much of a rise in temperature, maybe 10-15 degrees. We'll let it run for a few more minutes and check it again. And we'll do it one more time. As you can see, the unit is nice and smooth, even when it's not under load. It's not shaking the table, you don't see it rattling around. I'm holding it with 2 fingers practically. And the noise level, not that bad. And as we take the unit back out into the shop, get back to work, I can give you my final thoughts. The unit as a whole, after a few corrections, breaking it down, fixing an exposed wire, it is what it is. It's a beginner model. It is priced well. It's rather smooth for its price. The noise level is okay for its price. The balance, the overall feel is okay for its price. So basically, if you're lucky enough to get one that's durable and lasts a few years, it'll be well worth the money. It's going to make its money back quickly. You won't have a big dent on your credit card for some of these more expensive polishers, but I'll leave that up to you. If you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.